Welcome to all. I'm Nagaswati, working as an assistant professor and head of the Department of Commerce with Computer Applications, Mannar Thirumalai Naikar College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. Today we are going to see the topic of exception handling in Java programming course. We are going to start with the objectives. The first one is introduction. And the next one is what are the exceptions or for catching and throwing exceptions and exception specifications, standard Java exceptions, exceptions and polymorphism, the finally class and the resource map management and uncaught exceptions. We are going to start with what are the exceptions or used for the errors. So the introduction for the exception handling is due to the design errors or coding errors, our programs may fail in unexpected ways during the execution time. So an exception is a condition. It is caused by runtime or also the compile time in the program. So the purpose of the exception handling mechanism to detect and report an unexceptional circumstances. Now we are going to see what is error. An error produce an incorrect output or it terminate the execution of the program abruptly or even may cause the system to crash. So it is our responsibility to detect and manage the error properly. We are going to see the types of errors. The first one is runtime error. The second one is logic error and the third one is syntax error. So what is runtime error? It occurs while the program is running if the environment detects an operation that is impossible to carry out, which is called runtime error. The next one is a logic error. It occurs when a program doesn't perform the way it was intended. So it is called logic error. The next one is a syntax error. We already know that. So it arises because the rules of the language have not been followed. They are detected by the compiler. So this is called syntax error. Here I have shown the runtime error example. So there are three variables we have declared here: A, B, C. A contains 10, B contains 5 and C contains 5. So here we have used x equal to A divided by B plus C. It produced some result. But in the next condition, in the green color, I have shown int y equal to A divided by B minus C. Here already we have the value 10 divided by 5 minus 5. So it is a denominator becomes 0 and the numerator becomes larger of that number. So 10 divided by 0. So error division by 0. This is a runtime error. Here I have shown the typical causes of errors: memory errors, file system errors, network errors, calculation errors, array errors, conversion errors. So what is memory errors? Memory incorrectly allocated or memory leaks or it has a null pointer value. This is called memory errors. File system errors, that is disk is full, otherwise disk has been removed. The next one is a network error, that is network is down or else URL does not exist, which is called network error. Calculation error we have already seen in the before slide, that is divided by 0. The next one is array error. So that is accessing the element minus 1 which causes the array error. Conversion error, that is convert q to a number, that is q is a data type of character and now we have converted into the integer, so it causes some conversion error also. In the previous slide we have seen the errors. Now we are going to handle the errors using the exceptions. So a better error handling is exceptions or a mechanism. It provides the best of the both worlds. So exceptions act similar to method return flags in that any method may rise and exception should it encounter an error. So exceptions act like a global error methods in that The exception mechanism is built into Java. Exceptions are handled at many levels in the program, locally and or globally. So how do we handle exceptions? To handle the exceptions, we write a try-catch block. To pass the exception up the chain, we declare a throws class in your method or class declaration. So if the method contains code that may cause check the exception, we must handle the exception or pass the exception to the parent class. That is, we should remember every class has object as the ultimate parent. So this is the coding exceptions. So try catch mechanism, how it is working. So wherever our code may trigger an exception, the normal code logic is placed inside a block of code starting with the try keyword. After the try block, the code to handle the exception should it arise is placed in a block of code starting with the catch keyword. So this is a try catch mechanism. Here the diagram shows the standard Java exceptions. Throwable, it contains two of things, exception and also the error. So exception has two things, it's a runtime exception and IO exception, that is input output exception. Here the catching exceptions. The first one is wrap code to be checked in a try block. That is, it is checking occurs all the way down the execution stack. The next one is try blocks can be nested. So it control resumes at most enclosed matching handler. So this is the catching exceptions. Here I have shown the coding exceptions. Try catch block. In the try catch, it contains normal program code. In the catch block contains exception handling code. So this is the syntax or example of the coding exceptions. Here some of the types of exceptions. Public void my method throws exception. Public void my method throws IO exception, and try catch with exception E, and the try catch IO exception, that is IOE. The object is E and the next one is IOE. Here some of the code examples. Unchecked exception, it is a null pointer exception, and checked exception, it passing a divide by zero exception and also handling a divide by zero exception. So here we are coming to the conclusion of exception handling. It is a powerful error handling mechanism and it is also built into that language. Exceptions can be handled by the programmer using try-catch block method and also handled by the Java environment using the throw states. So here we are clearly know that exception, it detects or hide the error, not to correct the error. Thank you.